Russia and Ukraine say that the Tolyatti-Odessa ammonia pipeline has been destroyed. The pipeline was used to transport ammonia fertilizer from Russia via Ukraine. Russia's defense ministry has said that a Ukrainian sabotage group had blown up a section of the pipeline on Monday. The development may complicate future talks on the Black Sea grain export deal. Satellite images show the extent of flooding caused by the destruction of the Kakhovka Dam in Ukraine. Hundreds of homes, buildings and other infrastructure along the Dnipro River have been inundated. Ukraine and Russia have blamed each other for destroying the Soviet-era dam. China's Air Force has staged new Mars incursions near Taiwan. As a result, Taiwan activated its defense systems on Thursday. The island reported that at least 37 Chinese military aircraft flew into its air defense zone. It added that some Chinese aircraft crossed into the Western Pacific to perform air surveillance and long-distance navigation training. A massive fire broke out in the southern part of Sudan's capital, Khartoum. This happened near a military complex that contains an arms factory. The Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group reportedly attacked the heavily protected area. Meanwhile, fighting rages on in 3 cities that make up Sudan's great capital region. This includes Khartoum, Bari, and Omdurman. Israeli forces conducted a raid into the Palestinian city of Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. The Israeli military said that this was an operation to demolish the house of an assailant. The police reportedly fired live bullets, stun grenades, and tear gas. Palestinian protesters allegedly hurled stones at the Israeli police officers. Prosecutors in the US have informed former President Donald Trump's lawyers that he is the target of an investigation into the mishandling of classified documents. The Justice Department typically notifies people when they become the target of an investigation. This is to give them an opportunity to present their evidence before a grand jury. Despite the multiple cases against him, Trump remains one of the Republican Party frontrunners for the 2024 US presidential election. India and the US held the inaugural meeting of a strategic trade dialogue. This comes ahead of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United States. The talks focused on ways to facilitate development and trade in critical technologies like semiconductors and artificial intelligence. Former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has been formally named in the murder case of a lawyer. The lawyer, Abdur Razak, was killed by unknown gunmen on Tuesday. He had filed a court petition seeking sedition proceedings against Imran Khan. The Pakistani police have registered an abetment to murder case against Khan. Fresh protests have broken out in Sri Lanka. Protesters demanded the release of the people arrested during anti-government protests that broke out last year. Protesters say that the imprisonment of students and activists amounts to political persecution. Police officers fired tear gas and water cannons at protesters to disperse them. EU countries that refuse to host migrants or asylum seekers could be charged over $21,000 per refugee. The Home Affairs ministers from the 27 EU member states will meet in Luxembourg. They'll discuss key proposals, including a relocation scheme. The plan aims to ensure a fairer distribution of refugees to EU nations. Australia has said it would ban the public display and sale of Nazi hate symbols. However, the country's federal attorney general said that symbols which are of religious significance for Hindus, Jains and Buddhists will be exempted. Toronto's skyline was blanketed by smoke from the Canadian wildfires. Officials warned residents about the health risks from the polluted air. They estimated that the air in Toronto will stay polluted for at least a week. At least 13 provinces in Canada are suffering from poor air quality due to wildfires. New York City's Manhattan skyline was also covered in thick smoke. The skies turned a dark shade of orange. Skyscrapers in Manhattan, which can usually be seen from miles away, were nearly invisible in the smoke. Plumes of wildfire smoke are crossing over into America from its northern neighbor, Canada. Meanwhile, New York City authorities shut down schools amid the poor air quality in the city due to the wildfire smoke. They urged the millions of residents of the city to stay indoors and restrict outdoor activities. On Wednesday, New York City recorded the worst air quality in the world. At least 6 other towns along the east coast of the US were in the top 10 rankings for worst air quality. A severe heat wave is scorching the Caribbean island of Puerto Rico. On Wednesday, Puerto Rico recorded a temperature of 52 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, almost 40,000 homes are without electricity as the country struggles to meet high voltage demands. The island's weather service is calling the heat wave, quote-unquote, a dangerous situation. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano erupted on Wednesday. Lava and ash clouds sprayed out. The U.S. Geological Survey Department has ruled out any threat, but they are monitoring the situation. Kilauea last erupted in January this year. Wheat farmers in central China's Henan province lost their crops to incessant rainfall. Days of continuous downpour have destroyed hundreds of hectares of wheat fields. The affected farmers are digging trenches and using pumps to drain out the excess water. Meanwhile, China's finance ministry has promised an aid package worth $28 million for the farmers. Henan province is the top producer of wheat in China. In Iraq, climate activists have teamed up with the government to clean the country's Tigris River. Volunteers collected plastic and garbage from the river's waters. They also initiated a campaign to prevent sewage plants from dumping waste into the Tigris River. The activists estimate that at least 20 sewage stations were dumping waste into the water body. Football's world governing body, FIFA, is being accused of making false claims about their efforts towards carbon neutrality. Regulators from Switzerland, France, Belgium and the UK have said that FIFA lied about its carbon reduction efforts during the 2022 Qatar World Cup. The accusations come after FIFA promoted the Qatar World Cup as the first completely climate-neutral tournament. FIFA is yet to respond to the allegations. The Director General of COP28, Majid Al-Suwaidi, said that countries in the UN might skirt the topic of phasing out fossil fuels at the upcoming climate talks. The climate conference will begin in November this year. He added that nations had not agreed to discuss the issue at the climate talks. This comes as COP28 hosts, the UAE, were not in agreement with other nations over the phasing out of fossil fuels. The Reserve Bank of India has kept interest rates steady at 6.50%. It has held rates for the second month in a row. The RBI Governor Shashikanta Das said, "Our goal is to achieve the inflation target of 4%, and keeping inflation within the comfort band of 2 to 6% is not enough." He added that monetary conditions will remain tight in the future to curb inflationary pressures. The Bank of Canada has hiked its interest rates by 25 basis points to 4.75%. The rates stand at their highest level in 22 years. They'd been on hold since January this year. Analysts expect the central bank to deliver another 25-point rate hike in July. Reports say British multinational bank Standard Chartered is beginning to lay off employees. The total reductions could reportedly be more than 100. The job cuts would be across its Singapore, London and Hong Kong hubs. Standard Chartered had earlier said that it aims to cut costs by more than $1 billion through 2024. US-based video game retailer GameStop has fired its chief executive officer, Matt Furlong. Furlong has also resigned from the board. This is just 2 years after he took over as CEO. The company has not given any reason for Furlong's termination. Meanwhile, GameStop has appointed Ryan Cohen as its executive chairman. Philip Jansen, the CEO of British telecom company BT, is planning to freeze his salary. This is until he retires from the company. His salary will be maintained at $1.4 million throughout. As per Jansen's contract, his salary was to be renewed this year. It was fixed for 5 years when he joined BT in 2019. According to reports, Amazon is planning to make changes to its Prime video streaming service. It's reportedly planning to launch an ad-supported tier to its subscription model. Amazon's move follows the launch of similar plans by rivals Netflix and Walt Disney. The streaming industry has been facing a slowdown in its subscriber base amid expectations of a weakening economy. Meta has expanded its verified program to India. It offers several features to users, including a verified badge on Facebook and Instagram. The program will be priced at 699 rupees, which is about $8 per month on Android and iOS platforms. The web version will be available for a monthly rate of 599 rupees or about $7. With this, Meta aims to diversify its revenue streams beyond digital advertising. Meta will also introduce a new data protection measure for its users in Germany. Users will be able to decide if they want to use their Facebook and Instagram accounts in combination or separately. This means users can select whether or not to share their data simultaneously on both the platforms. The Dutch privacy watchdog has expressed concerns related to ChatGPT maker OpenAI. This is over the company's use of the personal data of its users. The Dutch regulator sent a letter to the tech firm seeking more information on its use of user data. The agency wants to take action in the future against companies developing generative AI. Microsoft will offer new OpenAI's features to US federal agencies. The tech giant will do this through its Azure cloud services. The artificial intelligence software program will be called Azure Government. It'll support the technology used by OpenAI's ChatGPT variants, GPT-3 and GPT-4. The US agencies can use Azure Government for tasks like content generation, language-to-code translation, and summarization. Moving to sports. In cricket, Australia finished strong against India on day one of the World Test Championship final. The match is being played at London's famous stadium, the Oval. Australia batted first. They put up a 327 runs for the loss of 3 wickets. Australia's Travis Head scored a century and he remains unbeaten at 146 runs. He's joined by Steve Smith at the crease. Smith is unbeaten at 95 runs. The second day of the game will resume on Thursday. In football, West Ham United beat Fiorentina 2-1 with a last-gasp winner to clinch the Europa Conference League title. Said Benrahma scored on a penalty in the 62nd minute to give West Ham the lead. Fiorentina put in an equaliser in the 67th minute. Then the referee had to stop play as fans chucked cups and cans on the field. One can hit a Fiorentina player on his head, drawing blood. After play resumed, it looked like the match was heading to extra time. However, Jared Bowen scored in the 90th minute to secure West Ham's win. With the win, West Ham won a European final after 43 years. Meanwhile, the Czech Republic police detained 16 Fiorentina fans. This was after the group attacked West Ham supporters outside a bar in central Prague. The West Ham fans were returning from the stadium and celebrating their club's win. Then, the group of Fiorentina fans hurled fireworks and flares at the West Ham supporters. No injuries were reported in the clashes. Argentine football star Lionel Messi has decided that his football future lies in the US. He's agreed to play for Major League Soccer club Inter Miami. He dismissed speculation over his move to former club Barcelona or to the Saudi Pro League. In an interview, Messi said that he had made the decision to go to Miami. This will be the first time the 35-year-old will play outside Europe since he first joined Barcelona's youth academy at the age of just 13. Bundesliga club Borussia Dortmund have agreed to the sale of midfielder Jude Bellingham. Bellingham will go to La Liga club Real Madrid. Madrid will shell out a whopping $110 million for the English midfielder. The 19-year-old is leaving Dortmund after 3 seasons. In tennis, world number 4 Casper Ruud beat world number 6 Holger Rune at the French Open. Norway's Ruud completely outclassed Denmark's Rune 6-1, 6-2, 6-3. With the win, Ruud has advanced to the semi-finals at Roland Garros. Alexander Zverev also won his quarterfinal match at the French Open. Germany's Zverev beat his Argentine opponent, winning 3 out of 4 sets. He'll now face Casper Ruud in the semi-final on Friday. Meanwhile, Iga Świątek continued her domination at the French Open. Poland's Świątek breezed past American Coco Gauff 6-4, 6-2 in straight sets. She'll now play Brazil's Beatriz Maia in the semi-final. In basketball, Denver Nuggets beat Miami Heat in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Denver beat Miami 109-94. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray scored big for Denver as they put up 32 and 34 points respectively. Denver now lead Miami 2-1 in the 7-match final series. The International Olympic Committee has withdrawn the recognition of the International Boxing Association. This comes after the boxing body failed to meet a set of reforms. Back in 2019, the Boxing Association was suspended over governance and finance-related matters. They were given until 2022 to rectify their practices. After failing to meet the reform, the body has been handed an indefinite ban. However, the Olympic Committee confirmed that boxing would not be banned from the Olympic Games. Actor Jay Johnston has been arrested on charges of participating in the US Capitol riots. According to an FBI document, a video has surfaced that shows Johnston pushing police officers and helping rioters. Johnston is known for his roles in television shows like Bob's Burgers and Mr. Show with Bob and David. US President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will host a Juneteenth concert at the White House next week. They said this will be a celebration of community, culture, and music. Tony Award winner Audra McDonald, singer and talk show host Jennifer Hudson will be part of the celebration. According to a new report, film and TV content from the US and South Korea dominate consumption across the Asia-Pacific region. In Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam, US and South Korean content each account for about 30 to 40% of content consumption. American billionaire Kylie Jenner celebrated her 5-year-old daughter Stormy's pre-kindergarten graduation. She shared a post on Instagram. Her comment section was filled with reactions from her friends Hailey Bieber and Malika Hajj. Kylie Jenner had Stormy with her ex Travis Scott. The movie Rebel Moon is one of the highly anticipated movies coming out later this year. This is a brand new sci-fi work of film director Zack Snyder. The director had initially pitched the project as a Star Wars film. Actor Jennifer Aniston has opened up about her workout routine. Aniston said she stopped doing painful workouts. She added that she's focusing on mindful exercises so she can remain on her feet. Jennifer Aniston is best known for her popular character Rachel Green in the 1990s sitcom Friends. Actor Jennifer Coolidge has said that she made a lot of mistakes in her life and regrets not focusing on career at an early stage. Coolidge was part of the 1999 comedy American Pie. She later starred in Legally Blonde alongside Reese Witherspoon. She was also seen in A Cinderella Story alongside Hilary Duff. American media personality Wendy Williams' son has opened up about her drinking problem. In a recent interview, Kevin Jr. said he's concerned about his mother's mental and physical health. He added that his mother's alcohol abuse might be fatal. Williams is receiving treatment at a wellness facility. American actor Shannon Doherty has opened up about her fight against cancer. Doherty revealed that the cancer has spread to her brain. Doherty has battled breast cancer since 2015. In 2020, she went public with a second diagnosis of stage 4 breast cancer. Late American rapper Tupac Shakur has been honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Shakur's sister accepted the award and gave an emotional speech. Tupac Shakur was killed in a drive-by shooting in 1996 when he was just 25 years old.